Our Buddhist topic of study was specifically on koans. I wish there is a simple answer on what exactly a koan is, but there isn't. Let's begin by first understanding the definition of a koan. A koan is a paradoxical anecdote or riddle, used in Zen Buddhism to demonstrate the inadequacy of logical reasoning and to provoke enlightenment. Since that may be a little difficult to wrap your head around, let's define some of the key words in that definition. Paradoxical, seemingly absurd or self-contradictory. Anecdote, a short and amusing or interesting story about a real incident or person. A riddle, a question or statement intentionally phrased so as to require ingenuity in ascertaining its answer or meaning, typically presented as a game. Inadequacy, lacking the quality or quantity required, insufficient for a purpose. Provoke, stimulate or give rise to. Now having these words defined, a koan is an absurd or contradictory short and amusing story, or a statement intentionally phrased so as to require ingenuity in ascertaining its answer or meaning. All this used in Zen Buddhism to demonstrate the lack of quality in logical reasoning and to stimulate enlightenment. The Zen master Munan had only one successor. His name was Shoju. After Shoju had completed his study of Zen, Munan called him into his room. "I am getting old," he said, "and as far as I know, Shoju, you are the only one who would carry on this teaching. Here is a book. It has been passed down from master to master for 7 generations. I also have added many points according to my understanding. The book is very valuable, and I am giving it to you to represent your successorship." "If the book is such an important thing, you had better keep it," Shoju replied. "I received your Zen without writing, and am satisfied with it as it is." "I know that," said Munan. "Even so, this work has been carried out from master to master for 7 generations, so you may keep it as a symbol of having received the teaching. Here." The two happened to be talking before a brazier. The instant Shoju felt the book in his hands, he thrust it into the flaming coals. He had no lust for possessions. Munan, who had never been angry before, yelled, "What are you doing?" Shoju shouted back, "What are you saying?"
Koan is a kind of explosive that you are given from your teacher or your master. While you are working on it, and very seriously, with utmost dedication, then it really turns into an explosive. Explosive so that you can break through the thick layers of common thinking and common feeling that we have accumulated probably from our birth, because that's the principle of this common world. But we've got to explore that, or let them totally fall down, so that this essence really emerges. So koan is, above all, it's a fine tool to realize that experience. But at the same time, this experience is not perfect from the very beginning. It's the very first appearance of this crude reality at the bottom. And we have very many koans. We have something like 700 or 800 koans in our line. Those are there to deepen this experience, further on and on and on and on and on, so that this essence, not simply just one tiny part of the essence becomes visible, but now the whole thing gets visible. If you go deep and if you experience deep dreams, deep experiences, they have a fundamental common nature for all human beings. We use koans, but koans are not, let's say, the ultimate aim to be able to handle koans. It's something preliminary for this manifestation, for this actualization of our real essence. Of course, many people actualize probably our essence without knowing that they're doing it. There are also people like that, the so-called saints and so on. But our practice has a clear orientation. It helps greatly if we experience this thing. Then it's a great help to actualize it in our daily life, in our ordinary life, in this particular world we live in. So koan has seemingly two functions, right? To give you this first initial breakthrough, and also to let you deepen that experience so that you can really, in the end, can say, ah, that's it. That's it.
Nan-in, a Japanese master during the Meiji era, received a university professor who came to inquire about Zen. Nan-in served tea. He poured the visitor's cup full, and then kept on pouring. The professor watched the overflow until he could no longer restrain himself. "It is overfull. No more will go in." "Like this cup," Nan-in said. "You are full of your own opinions and speculations. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty your cup?" In conclusion, koans are dialogues, riddles, stories, or sayings that can be used to make a person think spontaneously outside of the box and trigger enlightenment.
This will be the wisest marshmallow you've ever eaten.
Beat you up.
Oh my god.
This book.
Ow! My yard is numbered.
You need to borrow that, bud.
Oh my gosh.
You want to learn about Zen?
We're getting lung cancer from Mr. Mitchell's class. It's worth it.
Am I too big?
You're fat.
I'm sorry.
Oh jeez.
I'm slipping. Gotta lose weight.
Oh, these clamps are so hard.
Jesus. You good?
What is this?